The invasion begins. The night sky over New York City erupted in a dazzling display of light, but this was no fireworks show. Commander Sarah Chen of the United Earth Defense Force stared in horror as the first wave of alien ships breached the atmosphere, their energy weapons carving fiery swaths through the city's iconic skyline. "This is it," she muttered, her fingers flying over the holographic controls of her command center deep beneath the Rocky Mountains. "Sound the global alarm. All defense grids to maximum power." As sirens wailed across every continent, humanity faced its greatest challenge. The Krelok invasion fleet had arrived, just as the long-range sensors had warned 3 days ago, but no one had expected their numbers to be so vast, so utterly overwhelming. In orbit, Earth's meager defense fleet engaged the alien armada. Sleek fighters darted between lumbering capital ships, their weapons flaring in the darkness of space. But for every Krelok vessel destroyed, 5 more took its place. It was like trying to hold back a tsunami with a sandcastle. "Status report," Chen barked, her eyes never leaving the tactical display that showed Earth's defenses crumbling by the second. Lieutenant Rodriguez, his young face etched with fear and determination, responded, "Ma'am, we've lost contact with the lunar base. Paris and Beijing are under heavy bombardment. The orbital defense grid is at 30% capacity and falling." Chen closed her eyes for a moment, allowing herself a brief second of despair before steel resolve took its place. "What about Project Starfire? Please tell me it's ready." Rodriguez shook his head. "Dr. Emerson reports they need at least another 48 hours to bring the prototype online." "We don't have 48 hours, Chen growled. "Tell Emerson he has 24, or there won't be an Earth left to save." As if to punctuate her words, a massive explosion rocked the command center. Dust rained from the ceiling as the bunker's reinforced walls groaned under the strain. "Direct hit on the mountain," someone shouted. "They found us." Chen's mind raced. They needed time, needed a miracle. "Lieutenant, get me a direct line to every military commander still standing. We're initiating Operation Scorched Earth." Rodriguez paled. "But ma'am, that protocol, it's a last resort. We'd be sacrificing millions to buy time." "And saving billions in the process," Chen replied, her voice hard. "Make the call." As Rodriguez relayed the orders, Chen turned her attention back to the global tactical display. All across the planet, pockets of resistance flared against the Krelok onslaught. In the skies over London, a squadron of fighters executed a daring attack run on a Krelok destroyer, sacrificing themselves to bring down its shields. In the streets of Tokyo, mech suits engaged in close-quarters combat with alien ground forces, buying time for civilians to escape into underground shelters. But for every small victory, the overall situation grew more dire. The Krelok's superior technology and overwhelming numbers were simply too much to overcome through conventional means. A priority message flashed on Chen's display. It was from Dr. Emerson, the lead scientist on Project Starfire. Her heart raced as she opened the communication. "Commander." Emerson's haggard face appeared on the screen, the sound of distant explosions in the background. "We've had a breakthrough. We can have Starfire operational in 18 hours, but..." He hesitated. "But what, Doctor?" Spit it out. Emerson's eyes were haunted. "The power requirements are enormous. We'll need to siphon energy from every remaining power grid on the planet. It will leave Earth defenseless for at least an hour." Chen's mind reeled at the implications. Leave the entire planet defenseless, even for an hour, and the Krelok would surely press their advantage. Millions more would die. But if Project Starfire worked— "Do it," she ordered, her voice leaving no room for debate. "I'll coordinate a global counterattack to buy you that hour. Just make damn sure Starfire works, or humanity's last hope dies with it." As Emerson's face disappeared from the screen, Chen turned to address her command staff. The bunker shook again, dust and small debris raining down on their heads. "Listen up, people. In 18 hours, we launch humanity's last, best hope for survival. Until then, we fight with everything we've got. Every soldier, every civilian who can hold a weapon. I want them throwing everything they have at the Krelok. We need to keep them focused on the ground war, keep them from realizing what we're really up to. She paused, looking each member of her staff in the eye. I won't lie to you. The odds are astronomical. But humanity has faced extinction before, and we've always found a way to survive. We're creative, we're resourceful, and most of all, we're too damn stubborn to go quietly into the night. Now, let's show these alien bastards what happens when they pick a fight with Earth. A ragged cheer went up from the staff, a momentary surge of hope in the face of near-certain doom. Chen allowed herself a small smile before turning back to the tactical displays. The next 18 hours would determine the fate of humanity. Outside the bunker, the sky burned. Krelok ships descended through the atmosphere in ever-increasing numbers, their energy weapons lashing out at anything that moved. But all across the globe, humanity prepared to make its last stand. In the ruins of Moscow, a group of teenagers rigged homemade explosives to the underside of a fallen alien shuttle, determined to deny the enemy any advantage. In the Amazon rainforest, indigenous tribes armed with little more than spears and blowguns laid ingenious traps for Krelok ground forces, using their intimate knowledge of the jungle to run circles around the invaders. And in a hidden facility beneath the Sahara Desert, Dr. Lisa Emerson and her team worked feverishly to bring Project Starfire online. The massive device hummed with potential energy, its true purpose known only to a handful of people on the planet. As the hours ticked by, the situation grew increasingly desperate. Chen received reports of Krelok forces overrunning the last holdouts in Europe and Asia. Africa and South America were dark, all communication lost. Only scattered pockets of resistance remained in North America and Australia. Commander, Rodriguez called out, his voice tight with tension. We're detecting a massive energy buildup in the Krelok fleet. I think they're preparing for a final push. Chen's heart sank. They were out of time. She opened a channel to Dr. Emerson. Doctor, please tell me you have good news. Emerson's face appeared on the screen, streaked with sweat and grime. In the background, Chen could see the massive form of Project Starfire, its surface crackling with energy. We're ready, Commander, Emerson said, a mix of exhaustion and excitement in his voice. But I must warn you, we have no way of knowing exactly what will happen when we activate it. The simulations can only tell us so much. Chen nodded grimly. At this point, Doctor, any chance is better than no chance. Stand by for my signal. She turned to Rodriguez. Lieutenant, send out the coded message to all remaining forces. Operation Phoenix is a go, and may whatever gods are out there have mercy on our souls. As the message went out, Chen watched the tactical displays with bated breath. All across the planet, the remaining human forces launched into a frenzied, all-out attack. It was chaos, it was desperate, and it was exactly what they needed. The Krelok, caught off guard by the sudden aggression of a supposedly beaten foe, hesitated. Their neat formations broke apart as they struggled to respond to attacks coming from all directions. Now, Doctor, Chen shouted into the comm, activate Starfire. In the Sahara facility, Dr. Emerson took a deep breath and pressed his palm against the activation panel. Project Starfire hummed to life, drawing power from every corner of the globe. Cities went dark, defense systems powered down, and for a moment, the entire planet seemed to hold its breath. Then, with a sound like the birth of a star, Starfire unleashed its power. A wave of energy unlike anything ever seen on Earth burst forth from the facility, expanding outward at impossible speed. It washed over the planet, through the atmosphere, and into space. In the command bunker, Chen and her staff watched in awe as every Krelok ship in orbit suddenly went dark. The massive invasion fleet, moments ago poised to deliver the killing blow to humanity, now drifted lifelessly in space. My God, Rodriguez whispered. What did we just do? Chen's response was cut off as a new alarm blared. Energy spike detected. Someone shouted, It's coming from Lunar Base. All eyes turned to the tactical display, where a single point of light had appeared on the dark side of the moon. As they watched, the light grew brighter, resolving into the form of a ship unlike anything they had ever seen. A transmission crackled through the speakers, filled with static but unmistakably human. This is Captain Jake Foster of the UES Artemis to any Earth forces. We're coming in hot and could use some backup. Who wants to help us kick these alien bastards off our planet? For the first time in days, Commander Sarah Chen smiled. Against all odds, humanity had survived the first wave of the invasion, but she knew this was only the beginning. The real battle for Earth's future was about to begin. Project Starfire, humanity's secret weapon unveiled. The UES Artemis emerged from the shadow of the moon, a sleek dagger of hope cutting through the void. Captain Jake Foster stood on the bridge, his weathered face illuminated by the soft blue glow of holographic displays. Earth, once a vibrant blue marble, now bore angry red scars of invasion. Status report, Foster barked, his eyes never leaving the main viewer. Lieutenant Sarah Chen, no relation to the ground commander, responded crisply. All systems nominal, Captain. Quantum drive at 100%, shield harmonics stable. The Krellick fleet appears to be completely disabled. Foster nodded, a grim smile playing at the corners of his mouth. Looks like the eggheads came through after all. Let's hope this isn't just a temporary setback for our unwelcome guests. As the Artemis approached Earth orbit, the true scale of Project Starfire's impact became clear. Thousands of Krellick ships hung motionless in space, their once fearsome weapons silent. It was a graveyard of invasion suspended in the stars. Open a channel to Earth Command, Foster ordered. Let's let them know the cavalry's arrived. The viewscreen flickered to life, revealing the haggard but determined face of Commander Sarah Chen. Her eyes widened at the sight of the Artemis. Captain Foster, she breathed, disbelief and hope warring in her voice. When we lost contact with Lunar Base, we feared the worst. How? What is that ship? Foster's chest swelled with pride. This, Commander, is humanity's ace in the hole. The UES Artemis, first of her class and the culmination of Project Starfire. We've been waiting for this moment for years. Chen's brow furrowed. Years? But the invasion only began days ago. Ah, Foster chuckled. That's where you're wrong, Commander. The invasion began the moment we detected the Krellick fleet entering our solar system 5 years ago. Everything since then has been part of the plan. The bridge of the Artemis fell silent as Foster's words sank in. Even his own crew, sworn to secrecy, were hearing the full truth for the first time. You see, Foster continued, his voice taking on a lecturer's tone, we knew we couldn't match the Krellick in numbers or conventional firepower, so we have to think outside the box, way outside. He gestured to the ship around him. The Artemis isn't just a ship. She's a mobile quantum entanglement device. Every piece of Krellick technology, from their ships to their weapons, relies on quantum communication. We spent years studying their tech, reverse engineering it, and finding its weakness. Chen's eyes widened as understanding dawned. The pulse from the ground station. Foster nodded. Exactly. It created a cascading quantum disruption, amplified and focused by the Artemis. Every piece of Krellick tech within range was instantly disconnected from its quantum network, rendered about as useful as a brick. My God, Chen whispered, you turned their greatest strength into their ultimate weakness. That's not all, Foster said, his voice dropping to a conspiratorial tone. The Artemis isn't just a weapon, she's a key to unlocking the secrets of the universe itself. He turned to his science officer, a brilliant young prodigy named Dr. Usha Patel. Doctor, why don't you explain what else our little quantum trick can do? Dr. Patel stepped forward, her dark eyes glittering with excitement. The quantum entanglement technology we developed doesn't just disrupt communication. It allows us to manipulate the very fabric of spacetime. In theory, we could create wormholes, bend gravity, even travel faster than light. Chen's jaw dropped. Are you saying? I'm saying, Foster cut in, that humanity just took its first real step into the galactic community, and we did it by kicking the neighborhood bully right in the teeth. A cheer went up from both the Artemis Bridge and the Earth Command Center. For the first time since the invasion began, hope bloomed unrestrained. But the celebration was short-lived. An alarm blared on the Artemis, cutting through the jubilant atmosphere like a knife. "Captain," Lieutenant Chen called out, her fingers flying over her console. "We're detecting power fluctuations in the Krelok fleet. They're adapting to the quantum disruption." Foster's face hardened. How long? At current rates, they'll have partial systems back online in 20 minutes. Full recovery in an hour. Damn, Foster muttered. He turned back to the view screen. "Commander Chen, looks like our reprieve is going to be shorter than we hoped. We need to press our advantage while we have it." Chen nodded, already shifting back into battle mode. "Agreed. What do you propose?" Foster's eyes glittered with a dangerous light. "Oh, I've got a few ideas. How do you feel about stealing an alien mothership?" What followed was a whirlwind of activity. As the crew of the Artemis prepared for their daring raid, Earth's remaining defense forces scrambled to regroup and rearm. The quantum pulse had affected some of humanity's more advanced tech as well, but they were recovering faster than the Krelok. Foster stood in the Artemis's teleportation chamber, surrounded by a hand-picked team of Earth's best soldiers and scientists. Each wore a sleek exosuit, a marvel of human ingenuity that would allow them to operate in the alien environment of the Krelok mothership. "Remember," Foster addressed the team, his voice filled with quiet intensity, "our primary objective is to secure their central computer core. If we can access their mainframe, we'll have the tactical advantage we need to end this war once and for all." He paused, looking each member of the team in the eye. "I won't lie to you. This mission is high risk, low survival probability. But the fate of our entire species hangs in the balance. We are the tip of the spear, the vanguard of humanity's counterattack. Let's show these Krelok bastards what happens when they pick a fight with Earth." A chorus of determined hoorahs filled the chamber as the team took their positions on the teleportation pad. Foster tapped his comm badge. "Bridge, this is the captain. Initiate teleport sequence on my mark." He took a deep breath, steeling himself for what was to come. 3, 2, 1, mark. In a shimmer of blue light, Foster and his team vanished from the Artemis, reappearing moments later in the cavernous hold of the Krelok mothership. The alien vessel was dark, its systems still reeling from the quantum pulse. But already, faint lights were flickering to life, a sign that their window of opportunity was rapidly closing. "Move out," Foster whispered, his pulse rifle at the ready. "And may fortune favor the bold." As the team disappeared into the shadowy depths of the alien ship, the fate of two civilizations hung in the balance. The next hour would determine whether humanity would rise to claim its place among the stars or fall into the dustbin of galactic history. Little did they know, the true nature of the conflict and of the universe itself was about to be revealed, forever changing the course of human destiny. First contact, the ultimate showdown begins. Captain Jake Foster crouched in the shadows of the Krelok mothership, his team spread out behind him. The alien vessel's corridors pulsed with an eerie bioluminescence, casting everything in a sickly green glow. Foster's exosuit HUD flashed constant updates, counting down the minutes until the Krelok systems fully rebooted. "Team Bravo, status report," Foster whispered into his comm. Dr. Aisha Patel's voice crackled back, tense but controlled. "We've reached the central computer core, Captain. It's like nothing we've ever seen. The technology here, it's beyond advanced. It's almost alive." Foster's brow furrowed. "Can you access it?" "Working on it now, sir, but there's something else. These data streams, they're not just tactical information. It's history, culture, philosophy. Captain, I think we stumbled onto the Krelok equivalent of the Library of Alexandria. Before Foster could respond, a bone-chilling shriek echoed through the corridors. Contact! Sergeant Maria Rodriguez shouted, her pulse rifle lighting up the darkness. Multiple hostiles, closing fast. Foster spun, catching sight of the first wave of Krelok warriors. They were nightmarish creatures, all chitinous armor and razor-sharp appendages. But there was something off about their movements, a jerky, almost robotic quality. They're not fully recovered from the pulse, Foster realized. Press the advantage, go loud. The human strike team unleashed a barrage of firepower, their advanced weapons tearing through the disoriented Krelok. But for every alien that fell, two more took its place. The tide of battle was turning, and not in humanity's favor. Dr. Petal, Foster growled, ducking behind cover as energy blasts scorched the air around him. We need an exit strategy, now. Just 1 more second. Petal's voice was strained with concentration. There, I've got it. Captain, you're not going to believe this, but... Her words were cut off by a deafening roar. The entire ship shuddered, throwing both humans and Krelok off balance. Foster's HUD exploded with warnings as gravity shifted wildly. What the hell was that? Rodriguez shouted. Foster's eyes widened as he looked out a nearby viewport. The stars were moving. No, not moving. Stretching. My God, he breathed. We're jumping to FTL. Back on Earth, Commander Sarah Chen stared in horror as the massive Krelok mothership vanished in a burst of light, taking Captain Foster and the Artemis strike team with it. Track them, she barked. I want to know where that ship is going. But it was Lieutenant Sarah Chen, still aboard the Artemis, who made the breakthrough. Commander, her voice crackled over the comm, filled with awe and fear in equal measure. I've analyzed the energy signature of the Krelok jump. They're not just going to another star system. They're leaving the galaxy entirely. A stunned silence fell over both the Earth Command Center and the Artemis Bridge. The implications were staggering. The Krelok possessed technology far beyond anything humanity had imagined. And now, Earth's best hope for survival was trapped on their ship, hurtling towards the unknown. Aboard the Krelok mothership, Foster and his team regrouped in the computer core room. The FTL jump had taken a toll on their systems, but the exosuits had protected them from the worst of it. Status report, Foster demanded, his eyes never leaving the pulsating alien technology surrounding them. Dr. Patel's fingers danced over her holo interface, her face a mask of concentration. Captain, you need to see this. The data I've accessed, it changes everything we thought we knew about the Krelok, about the universe itself. She projected a holographic display filled with swirling galaxies and incomprehensible equations. The Krelok, they're not invaders. They're refugees, running from something so terrifying it makes our conflict look like a playground scuffle. Foster's mind reeled. Refugees, but the invasion. A desperate attempt to find a new home, Patel explained, her voice filled with a mix of horror and fascination. Their own galaxy is being consumed by something they call the void, an expanding nothingness that devours everything in its path. Stars, planets, entire civilizations, gone. Sergeant Rodriguez, ever the pragmatist, cut in. That's all very interesting, Doc, but how does it help us right now? Foster held up a hand, his tactical mind already racing. It changes everything, Sergeant. We're not fighting an invasion. We're witnessing a cosmic tragedy, and if we can communicate that to Earth... His words were cut short as the ship shuddered again, dropping out of FTL with a lurch that sent everyone sprawling. As they regained their footing, a new sound filled the air. A deep, resonant tone that seemed to vibrate through their very bones. What is that? Rodriguez whispered, her usual bravado faltering for the first time. Dr. Patel's face had gone pale. It's a distress call, but not from the Krelok. It's older, much older. As if in response to her words, the viewports around them cleared, revealing a sight that would be seared into their memories forever. They were in orbit around a massive structure, a ring-shaped megastructure that dwarfed even the Krelok mothership. Its surface was etched with glowing symbols in a language older than time itself. "My God," Foster breathed. "What is that thing?" Before anyone could respond, the ship's systems came fully online. Gravity normalized, lights blazed to full power, and in the center of the room, a holographic figure flickered to life. It was clearly Krolok, but unlike the warriors they had fought. This being radiated an aura of ancient wisdom and deep sorrow. "Humans," the figure spoke, its voice resonating in their minds rather than their ears. "We have brought you here because we have no choice. The fate of all life, in all galaxies, hangs in the balance. We stand at the precipice of universal annihilation." The hologram gestured to the megastructure outside. "This is the Nexus, built by those you would call the precursors. It is the key to saving not just our civilizations, but all of reality itself. And you humans, with your impossible ship and your quantum technology, you may be the only ones who can unlock its power." Foster's mind raced, trying to process the enormity of what he was hearing. In the span of a few hours, humanity had gone from fighting for survival against an alien invasion to being thrust onto the cosmic stage as potential saviors of the entire universe. As the Krelok Elder continued to speak, laying out a plan so audacious it bordered on madness, Foster realized that the real battle was only just beginning. The invasion of Earth had been but the opening move in a game played on a universal scale. And humanity, for better or worse, was now a key player. "Well," Foster said, a wry smile playing at the corners of his mouth, "I always did want to see the universe. Looks like we're about to get one hell of a tour." As the human team and their former Krelok enemies began to plan their next move, the fate of all existence hung in the balance. The ultimate showdown was about to begin, and its outcome would reshape the very fabric of reality itself. Cosmic chess, humanity's quantum gambit. The Nexus loomed before them, a colossal ring-shaped megastructure that dwarfed even the massive Krelok mothership. Captain Jake Foster stood on the bridge, his mind reeling from the revelations of the past few hours. Earth's invasion, the desperate counterattack, the quantum pulse that had changed everything. It all paled in comparison to what they now faced. "Let me get this straight," Foster said, addressing the holographic Krolok Elder. "This void is consuming entire galaxies, and this Nexus is our only hope of stopping it." The Elder, who had introduced himself as Zarkon, nodded gravely. "The Nexus is a precursor device of unimaginable power. It has the potential to rewrite the very laws of physics across all realities. But its activation requires a specific key, a key we believe your quantum technology may provide." Dr. Aisha Patel, her eyes gleaming with scientific curiosity, stepped forward. "The quantum entanglement drive we developed for the Artemis, you think it could interface with the Nexus?" "Precisely," Zarkon confirmed. "Your species' leap in quantum manipulation is unprecedented. It may be the missing piece we've sought for millennia." Foster's tactical mind was already racing. "So what's the catch?" "There's always a catch." Zarkon's holographic form flickered, as if hesitating. "The void, it's not just a natural phenomenon. It's sentient, in a way we cannot fully comprehend. And it has defenders, beings of such power that they make our civilizations look like insects in comparison." "Great," Sergeant Maria Rodriguez muttered. "Cosmic horrors, just what we needed." As if on cue, alarms blared throughout the ship. Lieutenant Zora Chen, who had been monitoring the long-range sensors, called out in alarm. Multiple anomalies detected, massive energy signatures approaching at FTL speeds. The view screen lit up with a sight that defied description. Vast, writhing shapes of darkness, punctuated by flashes of impossible colors. They moved with a fluid grace that belied their enormous size, and in their wake, the very fabric of space seemed to unravel. "The Void Heralds," Zarkon intoned, his voice filled with dread. They found us. Foster's mind raced. They were outgunned, outmatched, and facing an enemy beyond their comprehension. But humanity hadn't come this far by backing down from impossible odds. "Dr. Petal," he barked, "how quickly can you interface our quantum drive with the Nexus?" Petal's fingers flew over her holographic controls. "In theory, minutes. But Captain, we have no idea what will happen when we activate it. We could save the universe or tear it apart." Foster's lips curved into a grim smile. "Story of my life, Doctor. Make it happen." What followed was a frenzy of activity that would go down in legend if anyone survived to tell the tale. As the Void Heralds bore down on them, the combined forces of humanity and the Kraylock raced against time. The Artemis, piloted remotely by Lieutenant Chen from Earth, performed a series of daring maneuvers to dock with the Nexus. Meanwhile, Dr. Patel and a team of Kraylock scientists worked feverishly to integrate the quantum drive into the ancient alien technology. "This is insane," Rodriguez muttered as she helped run power conduits. "We're trying to hotwire the universe." Foster, overseeing the operation from a makeshift command center, couldn't help but agree, but they were out of options and out of time. "Energy spike." Chen's voice crackled over the comms. "The Void Heralds are charging weapons." Foster gritted his teeth. "Dr. Patel, please tell me you have good news." "It's ready," Patel shouted, her voice a mix of excitement and terror. "But Captain, I must warn you. Activating the Nexus could have unforeseen consequences. We might save reality, or we might erase ourselves from existence." Foster took a deep breath, feeling the weight of not just humanity, but all sentient life across the cosmos resting on his shoulders. "The needs of the many, Doctor. Activate the Nexus." Patel nodded, her hand hovering over the activation switch. "May the universe forgive us," she whispered, and pressed the button. For a moment, nothing happened. Then, with a sound that defied description, a chord that resonated through the very fabric of space-time, the Nexus came to life. Waves of energy pulsed outward, each one more powerful than the last. The Void Heralds, moments away from unleashing their attack, recoiled as if in pain. Their vast forms began to warp and twist, torn apart by forces beyond even their comprehension. But the effect wasn't limited to their enemies. Foster watched in awe as reality itself seemed to ripple and change. Stars shifted position, galaxies realigned, and for a brief, terrifying moment, he could swear he saw multiple versions of himself, each making a different choice in this crucial moment. "My God," Patel breathed, staring at her readings. "We're not just affecting our universe, we're rewriting the multiverse itself." As the energy waves continued to expand, Foster felt a strange sensation, as if his consciousness was expanding along with them. He could see, no, feel, the intricate web of quantum connections that bound all of reality together, and at the heart of it all, a singular point of infinite potential. With a clarity that transcended normal human understanding, Foster realized what he had to do. Reaching out with his mind, guided by the incomprehensible power of the Nexus, he began to weave a new pattern into the fabric of the multiverse. In that eternal moment, suspended between heartbeats, Captain Jake Foster rewrote the laws of physics. He created a universe where the void could not exist, where the delicate balance of creation and destruction was restored. And then, as suddenly as it began, it was over. Foster found himself back on the bridge of the Kraylock mothership, surrounded by his team and their alien allies. Outside the viewports, the Void Heralds were gone, and the stars shone with a new, vibrant light. Did we do it?" Rodriguez asked, her voice barely above a whisper. Before anyone could answer, a new presence made itself known. A being of pure energy, its form constantly shifting yet somehow familiar, appeared before them. "You have done more than you can possibly imagine," the being spoke, its voice resonating in their minds. "You have reforged the cosmos, creating a new paradigm of existence. The age of the void is over. The age of quantum harmony has begun. As the implications of their actions began to sink in, Foster realized that their adventure was far from over. They had saved the universe, yes, but in doing so, they had elevated humanity to a new plane of existence. The cosmic chess game had only just begun, and humanity had just become a major player. "Well," Foster said, a wry smile playing at his lips, "I guess we're going to need a bigger ship." As the Nexus hummed with newfound power and the stars beckoned with infinite possibilities, humanity stood poised on the brink of a new era. The ultimate space odyssey was about to unfold, and the universe would never be the same again. Quantum ascension, humanity's cosmic evolution. The bridge of the Kralok mothership hummed with an energy that transcended the physical realm. Captain Jake Foster stood at its center, his consciousness expanded beyond normal human limits. The being of pure energy, a quantum sentinel as it called itself, hovered before them, its form a kaleidoscope of possibilities. "You have reshaped reality," the sentinel intoned, its voice resonating on multiple levels of existence. "But with great power comes great responsibility. The multiverse is now in flux, and you must guide its evolution." Dr. Aisha Patel, her eyes wide with wonder, stepped forward. "Guide its evolution? How? We barely understand what we've done." The Sentinel's form shimmered, coalescing into a vast holographic display of the multiverse. Countless realities branched and intertwined, a cosmic tree of infinite possibilities. "Your quantum technology, combined with the Nexus, has given you the ability to navigate and manipulate the multiverse," the Sentinel explained. "You are now the quantum architects of reality itself." Foster's mind reeled at the implications. "Are you saying we're gods now?" "Not gods," the Sentinel corrected. "Guardians, stewards of a cosmic ecosystem more vast and complex than you can imagine. And you are not alone in this role." As if on cue, the holographic display zoomed in on a particular branch of reality. Foster gasped as he recognized a familiar blue-green planet, Earth. But it was an Earth transformed. Cities of crystalline spires reached into the stratosphere, while in orbit, vast structures of impossible geometry pulsed with quantum energy. "Your homeworld has evolved," the Sentinel explained. "The activation of the Nexus resonated across time and space. Humanity has undergone a quantum leap in evolution, awakening latent abilities that were always within your genetic code." Sergeant Maria Rodriguez, ever the pragmatist, cut in. "So while we've been out here playing cosmic chess, everyone back home got superpowers. That's convenient." The Sentinel's form rippled in what might have been amusement. "Not superpowers as you understand them. Humanity has become aware of its true nature as quantum beings. You are no longer bound by linear time or three-dimensional space. Your consciousness can now perceive and interact with multiple realities simultaneously." As the implications sank in, alarms blared throughout the ship. Lieutenant Zara Chen, her hands dancing over holographic controls, called out, "Captain, we're detecting massive quantum fluctuations. Something's coming through." The viewscreen lit up with a sight that defied description. A rift in space-time tore open, and through it emerged a vessel that seemed to exist in multiple states simultaneously. It was a ship, yet also a living entity, its hull composed of swirling quantum particles that shifted and reshaped with every passing moment. "Attention, quantum architects," a voice resonated through their minds. "This is Admiral Lara Zhang of the Earth Quantum Fleet. We've come to bring you home and to prepare for the challenges that lie ahead." Foster exchanged stunned glances with his crew. The Earth they had left behind mere hours ago now possessed technology that rivaled or even surpassed the precursors. Humanity had truly ascended to a new plane of existence. As the Earth ship docked with the Kralok vessel, Foster turned to the Quantum Sentinel. "You said we're not alone in this role. Who else is out there?" The Sentinel's form expanded, encompassing the entire bridge in a cosmic display. "The multiverse is vast, and you are not the first species to achieve quantum ascension. There are others, some allies, some adversaries, and some whose motives are beyond your current comprehension. Images flash before them, civilizations of pure energy, beings that existed as living mathematics, entities that moved backwards through time. The diversity of quantum-ascended life was staggering. And not all of them are pleased with the new cosmic order you've created, the Sentinel warned. The void may be gone, but other threats loom on the quantum horizon. As if to punctuate the Sentinel's words, a new alarm sounded. Chen's face paled as she interpreted the readings. Captain, we're detecting a massive quantum surge. Something's trying to break through the barriers between realities. The view screen shifted, showing a sight that chilled Foster to his core. A vast armada of ships, each one a dark mirror of their own quantum vessels, was emerging from a tear in the fabric of reality. At their head was a ship that seemed to absorb light and hope itself. The Entropy Collective, the Sentinel intoned gravely. A faction of quantum-ascended beings who believe that all realities should be collapsed into a single, perfect universe under their control. Foster's mind raced, processing information at quantum speeds. They had reshaped reality, ascended to a new plane of existence, and now faced a threat that endangered not just their universe, but all possible universes. Well, he said, a wry smile playing at his lips, I guess the ultimate space battle is about to begin. Admiral Zhang, Dr. Patel, let's show these cosmic party crashers why humanity just got a seat at the big table. As the newly quantum-ascended humans prepared to face their first multiversal threat, Foster couldn't help but feel a surge of exhilaration. They had rewritten the laws of physics, unlocked the secrets of the cosmos, and now stood as guardians of all reality. The cosmic chess game had entered a new phase, and humanity was playing for the highest stakes imaginable. As quantum energies surged and realities trembled, one thing was certain: the greatest adventure in the history of the universe was just beginning. Multiverse mayhem, humanity's quantum crusade. The fabric of reality shimmered like a heat haze as the Entropy Collective's dark armada bore down on them. Captain Jake Foster, his consciousness now expanded to perceive multiple dimensions simultaneously, stood at the nexus of possibility. Admiral Zhang, he called out, his voice resonating across quantum frequencies. I hope Earth's new quantum fleet comes with an instruction manual. Admiral Lara Zhang's laughter echoed through the Mind link. Better, Captain. It comes with a neural interface that taps directly into your quantum-enhanced consciousness. Think it, and the ship responds. As if to demonstrate, Zhang's flagship, the quantum dreadnought Excalibur, split into a dozen fractal iterations of itself, each occupying a slightly different position in spacetime. Now that's what I call a force multiplier, Sergeant Rodriguez whistled, her own quantum senses adapting to the mind-bending display. Dr. Aisha Patel's eyes gleamed with scientific excitement. The applications are endless. We could explore every possible timeline, every alternate reality. Let's focus on saving this reality first, shall we? Foster cut in, his tactical mind already formulating strategies that would have been impossible mere hours ago. The Quantum Sentinel, its energy form pulsing with urgency, spoke directly into their minds. The Entropy Collective seeks to collapse all realities into one. They believe that by reducing the multiverse to a single timeline, they can achieve perfect order and predictability. Sounds boring, Rodriguez quipped. It's worse than that, the Sentinel continued. Such an act would erase countless civilizations from existence, snuffing out entire branches of possibility. The multiverse would become a sterile, unchanging void. Foster's expression hardened. Not on our watch. Lieutenant Chen signaled the fleet. All ships, prepare for multi-dimensional engagement. What followed was a battle that defied conventional description. The human quantum fleet, led by the Excalibur and supported by their Krelok allies, clashed with the Entropy Collective across multiple planes of existence simultaneously. Ships phased in and out of reality, attacking from angles that shouldn't exist. Weapons fire curved through extra-dimensional space, striking targets seconds before they were fired. The very laws of cause and effect seemed to break down in the chaos of quantum combat. Foster found himself piloting the Artemis through a maze of fractured realities. One moment, he was dodging energy beams in the void of space. The next, he was weaving through the crystalline spires of a city that existed in a parallel Earth. Time flowed differently in each reality, forcing him to think in 5 dimensions just to keep up. Dr. Patel, he called out, narrowly avoiding a collision with an alternate version of his own ship. We need a game changer. Can we use the Nexus to our advantage? Patel's voice came back, strained but excited. I've been analyzing the Nexus's energy signature. If we can synchronize our quantum drives at just the right frequency, we might be able to create a cascading entanglement effect. In English, Doc. We could potentially entangle our entire fleet with multiple positive timelines, while disentangling the entropy collective from reality itself. Foster grinned. It was audacious, potentially catastrophic, and exactly the kind of impossible move that humanity seemed to specialize in. Admiral Zhang, did you get that? He asked. Loud and clear, Captain, Zhang responded. It's crazy enough that it just might work. All ships, prepare to synchronize quantum drives on my mark. As the human fleet maneuvered into position, the Entropy Collective pressed their attack. Their flagship, a massive construct of dark energy that seemed to devour light itself, opened fire with weapons that unraveled the very fabric of space-time. Now or never, Admiral, Foster shouted, watching as entire sections of reality began to collapse around them. Synchronizing in 3, 2, 1, mark. Every ship in the human fleet activated their quantum drives simultaneously. For a moment, nothing seemed to happen. Then, with a sound that could only be described as reality itself gasping in surprise, a wave of quantum entanglement exploded outward. Foster watched in awe as the Entropy Collective ships began to flicker and fade. It was as if they were being erased not just from this reality, but from all possible realities. Their dark flagship, once so ominous, now seemed to struggle against the tide of probability itself. But the effect wasn't limited to their enemies. Foster felt a strange sensation, as if he was being pulled in 1,000 directions at once. He saw glimpses of other lives he might have led, a peaceful existence as a colonist on Mars, a tragic death in the early days of the Krelok invasion, a triumphant return to Earth as a celebrated hero. What's happening? Rodriguez called out, her voice echoing strangely as if coming from multiple versions of herself. The Quantum Sentinel's voice resonated through the chaos. You've done more than defeat the Entropy Collective. You've shattered the barriers between realities. The multiverse is reconfiguring itself. As suddenly as it began, the quantum storm subsided. Foster found himself back on the bridge of the Artemis, but something was different. The ship seemed bigger, more advanced, as if it had absorbed aspects of its alternate selves. Status report, he barked, trying to shake off the disorientation. You're not going to believe this, Captain, Chen responded, her voice filled with awe. We're everywhere. The quantum entanglement didn't just affect our ships. It's affected all of humanity across every timeline and reality. The view screen came to life, showing images from across the multiverse. In every reality, humanity had taken a quantum leap forward. Worlds that had fallen to the Krelok were now thriving bastions of human-alien cooperation. Realities where Earth had been destroyed now showed a humanity spread across the stars. We've become a multiversal civilization, Patel breathed, her scientific mind struggling to comprehend the implications. The Quantum Sentinel reappeared, its energy form seeming both pleased and cautious. You've reshaped the cosmic order once again, quantum architects. But with this power comes great responsibility and great danger. The multiverse is more interconnected than ever before, and your actions will have consequences beyond your imagination. As the human fleet regrouped, now augmented by versions of themselves from across the quantum spectrum, Foster realized that their adventure was far from over. They had defeated the Entropy Collective and ascended to a new level of cosmic awareness, but new challenges and new wonders awaited. "Well," he said, a smile playing at his lips, "I always did want to see the universe. Looks like we'll be seeing all of them. Helm, set a course for the quantum unknown. Let's see what's out there." As the Artemis and its multiversal fleet prepared to embark on the greatest expedition in the history of any humanity, Foster couldn't help but feel a sense of boundless optimism. They had faced extinction and emerged as guardians of reality itself. The cosmic chess game had become a multidimensional spectacle, and humanity was now playing on every board simultaneously. Whatever came next, one thing was certain: the adventure of a lifetime had become the adventure of infinite lifetimes, infinite horizons, humanity's multiversal legacy. The Artemis hung suspended at the edge of known reality, its quantum-enhanced hull shimmering with the potential of infinite possibilities. Captain Jake Foster stood on the bridge, his consciousness expanded to perceive the intricate web of the multiverse around him. "Status report," he called out, his voice resonating across multiple dimensions simultaneously. Lieutenant Zara Chen, her fingers dancing over holographic controls that existed in several realities at once, responded, "All systems nominal, Captain. The multiversal fleet is in position, and we're detecting, well, everything." Dr. Aisha Patel chimed in, her eyes gleaming with the excitement of discovery. "Captain, the data we're receiving is unprecedented. We're not just seeing alternate realities, we're perceiving the fundamental building blocks of existence itself." Foster nodded, a wry smile playing at his lips. "Well, team, when we set out to explore strange new worlds, I don't think any of us expected this. Admiral Zhang, are you seeing this?" Admiral Laura Zhang's holographic form materialized on the bridge, her presence spanning multiple versions of the Artemis across different timelines. "Affirmative, Captain. The Quantum Collective is abuzz with activity. Every version of humanity across the multiverse is linked, sharing knowledge and experiences on a scale we never thought possible." As they spoke, the view screen came to life, displaying a sight that defied conventional description. Before them stretched the omniversal nexus, a swirling maelstrom of cosmic energy where all realities converged. It was a place of both infinite potential and grave danger. The Quantum Sentinel, its energy form pulsing with urgency, appeared before them. "Quantum architects, you stand at a crossroads of cosmic significance. The choices you make here will ripple across all of existence." Sergeant Maria Rodriguez, her quantum-enhanced senses on high alert, cut in, "I'm detecting something. Big. Multiple signatures, unlike anything we've encountered before." As if on cue, massive forms began to emerge from the swirling energies of the omniversal nexus. They were beings of pure thought and energy, their forms shifting and changing in ways that hurt the mind to perceive. "The cosmic architects," the Quantum Sentinel intoned, its voice filled with awe and trepidation. "The original shapers of reality, awakened by your multiversal exploits." One of the cosmic architects, its form a swirling vortex of galaxies and abstract concepts, addressed them directly. Its voice resonated not just in their minds, but in the very fabric of spacetime itself. "Children of Earth," it boomed, the words translating themselves into comprehensible thought. "You have reshaped the cosmic order, defied the laws of creation, and ascended beyond your designated place into grand design." Foster stepped forward, his quantum consciousness allowing him to stand firm in the face of such cosmic majesty. "We did what we had to do to survive, to protect not just our reality, but all realities." Another cosmic architect, its form a fractal pattern of mathematical perfection, spoke, "Your extraons have created repels across the onliverse. The boundaries between realities grow thin. Chaos threatens to engulf all of existence." Dr. Patel, her scientific curiosity overriding her awe, couldn't help but interject, But isn't chaos a fundamental part of creation? Without it, there can be no growth, no evolution. The cosmic architects seem to consider this, their forms shifting in what might have been surprise. You speak truth, young one. Perhaps we are too rigid in our stewardship of reality. Foster sensed an opportunity. Great architects, we didn't set out to challenge your authority or disrupt the cosmic order. We simply refuse to accept the extinction of our species, or any species. In doing so, we've discovered a greater truth about the nature of existence itself. He gestured to the multiversal fleet behind him, each ship a testament to human ingenuity and determination. We've learned that the greatest strength of the multiverse lies not in rigid order, but in infinite diversity. Every possibility, every choice, every dream, they all have value. The cosmic architects conferred among themselves that communication taking place on levels of reality that even the quantum-enhanced humans could barely perceive. Finally, the first architect spoke again. Givnus muchech to coincider, children of Earth. Perhaps it is time for a new age of cosmic evolution. One way he created beats co creators. A surge of energy pulsed from the omniversal nexus, washing over the human fleet. Foster felt his consciousness expand even further, gaining insights into the fundamental nature of reality that would take lifetimes to fully comprehend. We bestlo the upon you the mantle of universal guardians, the architects declared. You shall be the caretakers of infinite possibilities, the shepherds of evovingrealities. As the implications of this cosmic proclamation sank in, Foster turned to his crew, seeing the same mix of awe, excitement, and determination reflected in their faces. Well, he said, a grin spreading across his face, I guess we're going to need a bigger ship. Admiral Jean's hologram nodded, her expression one of fierce pride. Not just a bigger ship, Captain. We're going to need a bigger imagination. The greatest adventure in the history of any humanity is about to begin. As the cosmic architects retreated into the swirling energies of the omniversal nexus, Foster gave the order that would echo across infinite realities. All ships, prepare for multiversal jump. Our mission, to explore strange new worlds, to seek out new life and new civilizations across all possible realities, to boldly go where no version of humanity has gone before. The Artemis and its multiversal fleet engaged their quantum drives, pushing the boundaries of what was thought possible. In that moment, as they leaped into the unknown, humanity truly became the authors of their own cosmic destiny. As the ships disappeared into the swirling maelstrom of creation, the quantum sentinel lingered, its energy form pulsing with what might have been pride. And so, it mused to itself, the student becomes the teacher, the created becomes the creator, and the cosmic story writes a new chapter. The adventure that had begun with a desperate battle for survival had transformed into an eternal quest for knowledge, understanding, and the preservation of infinite possibilities. Humanity, once bound to a single planet in a vast and uncaring universe, now stood as the guardians of all reality. The ultimate space odyssey had only just begun, and the multiverse would never be the same again.